One of the defining moments in my life was about 7-8 years ago, sometime in 2008. I think everybody felt the strain in 2008 of what happened economically, financially, just in general, with dealerships getting bailouts, banks getting bailouts. Everyone seemed to be just going down the tubes. At that time, my wife and I both worked at jobs that were very much tied to some of the pinnacle points of economic strife, like banking, lending, world. So we both lost our jobs. And for the next almost year and a half, almost 2 years, it was a massive struggle, even in our relationship, but specifically financially. I think we were damaged the way other people were damaged. And so bottom line is, in 2008, we lost everything. When something like that happens, you ask yourself, why did this happen? What did I do wrong? What mistakes did I make? And it was harder for me because I've always been generally a very positive person. I said, my mom was a therapist when I was growing up, so I knew what positive affirmations were when I was like 10 years old. Oh, you have to say positive affirmations. And my friends didn't even know what that was. So I've always been generally positive. So when you always look to the positive or feel very positive about things, when something really horrible happens in your life or some massive challenge or calamity, you really start digging deep and trying to figure out, why did this happen? What did I do and how can I stop it from happening again? I didn't really have a goal before. I didn't really have a specific dream or a specific goal in my life. I think like many others, I was just kind of floating around and going through the day-to-day motions of life, and whatever came, came. When people say, that's too expensive, or I can't afford that, I don't know. These are all very negative things to say. And when we say things like that out of our mouth, we believe ourselves. Anything you say, you believe. So it comes out of your mouth and it gets reinstalled as a limiting belief that you cannot afford that, or that's too expensive. And I talk about money a lot because in my life, where I felt my worst calamity was around finances. So when I changed my speech patterns, when I changed my thoughts in regards to money, like what I thought was a lot of money, what I thought was a little money, when I changed that and I added zeros to the things that I thought were a lot, all of my life changed to reflect that new reality. Everyone who's been massively successful, they all have a story. There's not too many that never failed or didn't go through some horrible adversity when they were growing up. But I believe that adversity is the breeding ground of superheroes. People can take that adversity and those challenges they've gone through in their life, or their traumas, and they can either use them as an anchor to weigh them down forever and use it as a crutch and an excuse why they never can level up and become anything more, or they can use it as jet fuel and just blast off to the highest level of success that they can possibly have. And anyone can do this. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not voodoo or magic. It's not esoteric. What it is actual and practical steps I took to change my mindset, to change my words, speech patterns, and actions to line up with the life that I wanted to have. And anyone can do this. You can start from anywhere, and you can start right now. If you're the type of person who has been searching for something, if you think that there's haves and have-nots in the world, and you just feel like someone else, like everything they do turns to gold, or they were maybe born with a silver spoon in their mouth, it's not true. Yes, people have different economic advantages based on where and what family they were born into, but that doesn't mean that because you weren't, that you're a have-not. What I teach in my programs are practical and daily action steps, very simple ones, to slowly change your perception and your limiting beliefs about yourself and about what you can have in your life and about the world in general. What you need to do is have a firm foundation of belief in yourself and belief in your own abundance. And that's what I help people to find in their own lives. I think that we live in a world where everyone's looking for someone else to save them. And I believe that we all have a superhero within ourselves. And we need to just tap into that and bring that out. Any time in your life that you've done something amazing, that was the true superhero shining through. The rest of the time is the time where you're wearing your secret identity. And I think that we should just take that off and throw it away. Just be that superhero all the time in our own lives.